Hello and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Localvision. Unfortunately, Tonya Giddens is not available to host tonight's show due to a personal emergency, but please stay tuned to an old episode of The Corner. Hello, welcome to the Wednesday episode of The Corner. My name is Ricky Corpron, news personality from Lehman College Radio in the Bronx, New York. In the headline, there's an update about President Barack Obama proposing new tax credits and job training programs for. In the headline, there's an update about President Barack Obama proposing new tax credits and job training programs for U.S. workers on Tuesday in a 2015 budget that drew instant commendation for Republicans who dismissed the document as an election year campaign pitch. The $3.9 trillion blueprint for the fiscal year begins on October 1st. Also will boost spending on roads and bridges and expand early childhood education while paying for some additional spending by scaling back tax breaks for wealthier Americans. The proposal has no chance of the passage in Congress where Republicans control the House of Representatives, but it lays Obama's policy priorities ahead of November congressional election. Democrats will be fighting to keep control of the U.S. Senate and avoid losing ground in the House. Our budget is about choices. It's about our value, Obama told reporters during a visit at a nearby elementary school. At a time when our deficits are falling at the fastest rate in 60 years, we got to decide if we're going to keep squeezing the middle class or if we're going to continue to reduce the deficits responsibly while taking steps to grow and strengthen the middle class. While working within the overall cap estimate of $1 trillion for discretionary spending that said Congress set for 2015. The president proposed a $56 billion in additional spending for education, welfare, and defense programs, paid for in part by ending a tax break for wealthy retirees. Republicans objected to the planned spending increase and said it did not address larger fiscal challenges related to the Social Security retirement program and Medicare and Medicaid health care for the elderly, poor, and disabled. After years of fiscal and economic mismanagement, the president has offered perhaps his most irresponsible budget yet. Republican House Speaker John Boehner said in a statement, spending too much, borrowing too much, and taxing too much would hurt the economy and cost jobs. Democrats hope to draw a contrast within the Republicans' focus on fiscal restraint and portray themselves as better as able to deliver jobs and growth. Obama's proposal signaled a shift from last year's emphasis on deficit cutting to a greater focus on fighting poverty, a goal the president highlighted as he eyes his legacy with fewer than 3 years left in his office. Republicans of America's slow recovery from the 2007 and 2009 recession also focused on poverty reduction, but they favored dramatically a smaller government role. House Budget Committee Chairman Paul Ryan, a potential Republican presidential contender in 2016, argued a report on Monday that the government had barely made a dent in combating poverty in the last 50 years, might have despite massive spending. He blasted Obama's Tuesday proposal. This budget isn't a serious document, it's a campaign brochure, said Ryan, who will unveil a Republican budget as to counter Obama's in the coming weeks. In other news, Governor Andrew Cuomo standing shoulder to shoulder with Albany following thousands of parents and students who rallied in the support of charter schools. It vowed on Tuesday to defend the movement and offer a sharply different vision from their place in the educational system than Mayor Bill de Blasio. We are here today to tell you that we stand with you, Mr. Cuomo said. You're not alone. We will save charter schools. Mr. de Blasio had pledged to slow the growth of charter schools in the New York City and announced last week that he will block 3 schools from using space in the traditional public school buildings. The move was denounced by charter school leaders who promised to show up en masse in the state capitol to voice their dissent. Mr. Blasio, who also traveled to Albany Tuesday once again for a tax on the wealthiest residents to pay for universal pre-kindergarten, last week dismissed their efforts as a sideshow. Cuomo's decision to speak at the rally brought the issue center stage, snapping some some of the attention for Bill de Blasio's rally and set up another Republican battle between the mayor and the governor, one that might have a national implication since the efficiency of charter schools is a subject to debate across country. Mr. Cuomo promised to ensure that charter schools have financial capacity and physical space and government support to thrive and grow. Later in the day, Mr. de Blasio met privately at the Capitol. Speaking to reporters afterwards, Mr. de Blasio described the meeting as a very productive conversation, but declined to offer specific details on the topics they discussed. He emphasized that he and the governor have known each other for almost 2 decades and have worked together for many years. During his mayoral campaign last year, Mr. de Blasio said that well-resourced charter schools should be charged rent to use space in the existing school buildings, known as the co-locations. He also said that he will impose more of an auditorium on the practice of performing public schools, which has opened up invaluable real estate for the use of charters. One of his first acts in office this year was to relocate $210 million from a fund that originally reserved for charter schools and other nonprofit groups. That money is now likely to be used for pre-kindergarten classes. And then last week, the mayor made his most aggressive move yet, reversing the policy set by his predecessor, Michael R. Bloomberg, who agreed to provide the free real estate for the schools so that they could open up programs in the fall. The 3 schools had already hired principals and were in the midst of recruiting students. Any thoughts about what you heard in the corner so far, please email us at thecornerradio@gmail.com. For more of your news needs, stay tuned to Lehman College Radio in the Bronx, New York. My name is Ricky Corporon. I'm your news personality. Hello, welcome back to the Wednesday episode of The Corner. My name is Ricky Corporon, news personality for WLJC Radio in the Bronx, New York. In the headlines, a Northern New Jersey honor student who sued her parents to get support after she moved out of their home had initial requests. It was denied on Tuesday by a judge who cautioned the case could lead to a potential slippery slope of claims by teenagers against their parents. Rachel Canning has sought immediate relief in the form of $650 in weekly child support and the payment of the remainder at Morris Catholic High School, as well as attorney fees. State Superior Court Judge Peter Bogart denied those mentions but ordered the parties to return to court on April 22nd, when they will present their evidence and testimony over the question of whether the Cannings are obligated to financially support their daughter Rachel Canning, a high school senior who has been accepted by one of the colleges, is seeking to have her parents pay some or all of her tuition, according to Tonya Giddens, who said this statement on Tuesday. Dressed in her high school uniform with several friends nearby in the gallery, Rachel Canning did not speak to reporters after the hearing. Bogart sounded skeptical of some claims in the lawsuit, saying that it could lead to teens thumbing their noses at their parents leaving home and then asking for financial support. Are we going to open the gates for 12-year-olds to sue for an Xbox or for 13-year-olds to sue for an iPhone? Rachel Canning's father asked. He also said that we should be mindful of the potentially slippery slope. Court documents show frequent cases of parent-teenage tensions, boyfriends, and alcohols as taken to the extreme. In the filings, there are accusations and denial, but one thing is clear. The girl left home on October 30th, 2 days before she turned 18, after a dangerous stretch during which her parents separated and reconciled that the teen began getting into uncharacteristic trouble at school. In the court filings, Canning's parents, retired Lincoln Park police chef Sean Canning and his wife Elizabeth, said that their daughter voluntarily left the home because she didn't want to abide by the household rules, such as being disrespectful, keeping a curfew, doing a few chores, and ending their relationship with a boyfriend. Her parents says that it's a bad influence. They say shortly that before she turned 18, she told her parents that she would be an adult and she could do whatever she wanted. She said her parents was abusive, contributed to an eating disorder she developed, and pushed her to get a basketball scholarship. They say that they were supportive and helped her through the eating disorder and paid for her to go to a private school where she could not get as much playing time in basketball as she would do in a public school. Health fan told Bogart in court Tuesday that Rachel Canning learned her behavior from her parents, particularly her mother, who she had a difficult relationship. These people who call themselves as loving parents and the most disgusting portrait of their daughter in the court filings, she said, they are the pointing finger to avoid the parental responsibilities. Rachel Canning is a cheerleader and lacrosse player who hopes to become a biomedical engineer. Canning wants to declare that she is non-emancipated and dependent as a student on her parents for her support. Attorney Laurie Mouservet, representing the Canning parents, called Rachel Canning's claims outrageous and said that by leaving because due to the fact that she's 18, Rachel Canning emancipated herself and she couldn't count on her parents' support. There's no abuse, no neglect, she said, and they're not unfit parents. And she could also come home tonight whenever she wanted to come home. Rachel Canning has been living in the Rockaway Township with her family and her best friend. The friend's lawyer, former Morris County freeholder John Iglesiano, is paying for the lawsuit. Moving on to other news, moviegoers whose ears hurt after watching a film could get some release from a bill that is being considered by Connecticut state lawmakers. The General Assembly Public Safety and Security Committee is reviewing a proposal that would establish a maximum decibel level at a movie theaters across the state. Under the proposal, theater license holders could not show a film or a preview that is seated to 85 decibels. Last but not least, in entertainment news, there's a Batman sequel in the works. That's right, child actor David Mazouz has been tapped to play the boy who will grow up to become the Cape Crusader, while newcomer Carmen B. Condova, Selena Carlisle, Catwoman, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. Gotham is described as an origin tale centering on DC Comics fixture Commissioner Jim Gordon and the villains that made Gotham famous, such as the Penguin, Riddler, Two-Face, etc. The Warner Brothers is a television drama plot which has the series commitment attached, is being written and executive produced by the Mentalist showrunner Bruno Heller. Mazouz's young Bruce Wayne and the son of Thomas and Martha Wayne is a preteen character and is sentenced to solitary life after the tragic slayings of his wealthy parents. Young Bruce is described as serious and soulful and relies on the guidance of protection of Alfred Pennyworth, the butler, played by Sean Pertwee, and James Gordon, played by Southland's Ben McKenzie. Speaking to reporters in January at the Television Critics Award Association Winter Press Tour, Fox Entertainment President Kevin Reilly said that the series will explore other characters from DC's massive Batman canon. Reilly confirmed that Gotham will be much as an origin story as Batman for Gordon. Is Gotham teetering on the edge? This is all classic Batman characters, he said, noting the plan for all series ultimately end with Bruce Wayne putting on the Cape Crusader and becoming Batman, as much as Smallville did with Superman. Any thoughts about what you heard in the corner? Please email us at thecornerradio@gmail.com. For more of your news needs, stay tuned to Lehman College Radio in the Bronx, New York, where we have Welcome back to the latest episode of The Corner, the Wednesday episode. My name is Ricky Corpron, news personality from Lehman College Radio in the Bronx, New York. I'm here with my main man, Gabe Lorenzo. What's going on in sports, buddy?
Going on, man. Welcome to The Corner, everybody. First of all, LeBron 61, 8 of 10 from the three-point line, started off 8 of 8, 9 of 12 from free throw. Broke records everywhere.
Broke records, man.
Yeah.
LeBron is a beast, you know. He had him, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh are like unstoppable. They're like the treacherous three right there.
I mean, it's funny because D. Wade didn't even play that game. Chris Bosh had 15 points. He had 61. The rest of the team only had 63.
So meaning that LeBron
carried the whole team.
He carried the whole team.
Yeah, and he shot amazing from the field. 22 of 33. That's a new career high for him.
That's a new career high.
That's his second game scoring 20 plus field goals.
LeBron's a beast, you know.
Franchise record in points in a quarter, 25. He had a franchise record at 37 points at the halftime. You know, and D. Wade's been there all his career, and you know LeBron just got here. He did that. It's amazing.
I'm amazed, you know, like from him playing in Cleveland and transitioning to Miami pretty well.
When he was in Cleveland, he had a bunch of 50-point games, but this is his first that he's done it at home. Every other career game that he's had 50 plus, it's always been on the road. Against the Magic, the Pistons, the Celtics, everybody, it's been on the road. But for him, this is his first time doing it at home. in Cleveland, but he's in Miami, so first time doing it at home. And before him, Glenn Rice set the record with 56 points against the Magic, April 15, 1995.
Pretty impressive because it's just like
19 years.
I feel like him carrying the team is probably gonna bring like back-to-back championships with those stats that you listed.
They're on fire right now. 7 games in a row. It was snapped by the Rockets last night though. He missed his 3 at the buzzer. Did you see that over Dwight Howard?
Nah.
Should have seen it. Dwight Howard had hit him a play before that in the game. In the face, they thought he probably broke his nose that game, but
I saw clips on it on ESPN Sports Center.
Yeah, they thought he broke his nose, but he didn't. Hopefully he didn't. I mean, he had shots to tie the game, but he didn't have it. I mean, he did do great. Remember, he had that 3-point against the Warriors, and he had that 61-point game that we were talking about now. So I mean, he's not gonna make every shot, but you see, he's being great this year. He's as evolved. I've never seen LeBron like that.
So who's that player that broke his nose again?
Serge Ibaka against the Thunder.
The Thunder, yeah, because he was going, because it was amazing.
He was
going for that layup, and then what happened? It was just like a crazy foul to the nose, man.
Yeah, man, I know how that is when you playing basketball. You have length like that, you naturally hit
because I seen people get upset about that situation. When I did sports for ABC News, I was watching the Celtics play the Nets, and then when Chris Humphries was in the Nets, I believe he fouled Garnett accidentally, and then they started fighting.
I think it was Rondo.
Rondo, yeah.
Because, Rondo was so small. They like, you picking on Rondo. Garnett came in. Everyone started coming
Everybody started fighting. It was like all free-fall for everybody.
Especially, Chris Humphries. They made it seem a big deal because, a lot of people don't like Chris Humphries.
I really get that, He had his, little side beef with J.R. Smith, and then J.R. Smith said, saying girl got torn down by Kanye. Ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, and a lot of people dislike him ever since that breakup with Kim. Yeah. He's just become public enemy number one. And it's messed up to just throw him under the bus like that. But back to LeBron,
Back to LeBron, yeah.
That 61 he had, that is the most threes ever hit for a 50-point game. Besides that, it was Shaq. But 3-pointers, that 8 threes in a 50-point game. No one's ever done that. Even Kobe, who hit 12 threes, still didn't do that. Couldn't have done that.
Wow, that's impressive, Lo. What's the deal with his black mask? Everybody make him seem like he's creepy looking with the mask.
Yeah, the commissioner had actually requested that he take it off because what he was wearing, it was a black leather mask. They had the clear visors you're supposed to wear. He had a black leather mask where you couldn't see his face. And I remember you saying that you used to wrestle and the kind of mask you wear is kind of intimidating.
Yeah, it's kind of intimidating because I used to wrestle this kid back in Scarsdale, right? He was wearing this like a breed between Jason Voorhees and Vega from Street Fighter, right? And then I'm still a small dude at 5'8". This guy was like 6'1", 6'2". And then when I looked at the mask and it kind of mesmerized me, he gave me a sack throw, a judo sack throw, and then he pinned me. But back to LeBron's mask situation. Personally, that mask looks kind of creepy looking. It makes him look like R. Kelly,
I mean, yeah, he's in the NBA, so, they feel like you have to represent it the right way. So maybe it was an intimidation factor, but at the same time, a lot of people in the league didn't have a problem with it. A lot of people actually liked the mask.
Yeah.
People, fans were saying that's a nice mask. Players around the league said it was a nice mask. I don't have nothing against it, really.
Yeah, and me neither. I don't have any particular bias when players come to mask, because
it's just a mask.
It's just a mask. People get injured by fouling. They had like the little street ball mentality because J.R. Smith wore a mask and
Kobe's wore a mask.
Carmelo wore a mask.
Irving's wearing a mask.
Everybody wore masks. It's just a game of basketball. You get fouled a lot and you just get hit in that nose area.
Yeah, but LeBron's situation was a little different because he had an all black leather mask that went across the face, like up and down, across everywhere. Like that's probably the difference because with a visor, it's a clear visor, you can actually see his face. But with that one, you couldn't really see his face. It made it harder. It was kind of, people felt like the NBA thought it was a disadvantage for defensive players. So they thought, they requested him to take it off. They didn't make a big deal out of it. And LeBron was respectful. He said, I respect the NBA. I don't have a problem. It's not making a big deal out of it. He just changed it. And that's something I like about LeBron that I've seen lately. He's changed. He's more mature now. Yeah. And he's more, he's more trying to get things done more than, for the hype.
He's, he was like coming from high school to the pros, he was.
That's a huge transition, don't you think?
Yeah, that's a huge transition, man.
18 in the league, and people were saying you're the chosen one.
Yeah, and I was just like, amazed, because like not everybody makes it to the pros once they turn 18. You gotta go through like
the pros, you're somebody. I just say that.
You gotta go through that transition stage because like I seen good players that come from high school, then go to college, then to the pros. Like Mount Vernon native Ben Gordon, he's pretty good because he played in Mount Vernon High School. Then he lead UConn
the championship. Did he play with Charlie Villanueva? I'm not mistaken. Or Rip Hamilton?
Rick Hamilton and Charlie,
Charlie Villanueva, yeah.
Once he did that, he got chosen to the Bobcats first draft.
He got waived, actually. You know that?
Huh?
He actually got waived by the Bobcats.
For real?
Waived by the Bobcats.
That's insane.
Yeah, just talking about him too, and he just literally got waived. But back to the stat of the night. There. Let's speak about the Bobcats for a little bit, because the last 3 55-point games or higher that's come in the NBA have all come against the Bobcats.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Williams dropped 57 on them March 4th, 2012. Carmelo dropped 62 January 24th, 2014, this year actually. And then LeBron 61. And this is a team that's ranked 5th overall in points allowed in the league with 97.5. And in fantasy, the defensive rating is a 101, which is 6th. So that's not that. But these teams are just either they're great scorers or something's wrong with the team. And I don't think it's the team, because they have great defensive stats.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and then look at these numbers for LeBron with a mask. He's averaging 33.5 points, 5.25 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and 1.7 blocks. I mean, it's only been 4 games, but you know.
That's still beast, you know.
Yeah, averaging that's pretty hard. And in the month of March, 2 games in, 34.3 points, 5.6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2.3 steals. So, you know, the mask is, you know, is it a big deal?
Yeah, wow.
You think it's a big deal?
No, I don't think it's a big deal. Because without the mask, there's no superstition, no superpower of any kind. It's just how you play the game, you know.
Yeah, and it's the second half of the season. It's time to turn it on. And he's in the MVP race with KD, and you know, he wants to win his 5th now, and you know, he's kind of you know, like thinking Kevin Durant's gonna take his crown, because he's the next coming up, and he's looking like he's gonna win MVP. The way his team looking, he might just be winning his MVP.
Any afterthought for LeBron?
I want to see him keep going. 61. Let's see him do 70, right?
Let's see him do 90. You know, because LeBron's a beast. LeBron, we're praying for you, man. Keep going, doing your things. Never underestimate the criticism.
I want to see the black leather mask, though. I'm a big fan of leather. I want to see that.
Yeah, me too. It makes him look like Black Mask, like Jet Li, you know. But without the mask, LeBron is always doing his best, you know.
James.
Yeah, King James all the way. So follow us at rcorporon89 on Twitter. And what's your Twitter name handle?
My Twitter is Gabe, at Gabe J. Lorenzo on Twitter. And Instagram, Gabe to the Jordan. Add me. Follow me for your latest news updates.
All right. My name is Ricky Corporon, alongside with my main man in sports,
Gabe J.
Gabe Lorenzo. Just follow us on Lehman College Radio for your news updates at thecorner@gmail.com. Wednesday episode, signing out. Thank you for enjoying The Corner, and now enjoy a beautiful poem by the great Ron Amber Deloney herself. Have a nice day.
It was a love gift for an old love. These tattoos, they were engraved in desperate moments where the heart seeks reason for love unrequited, in dim parlors, in deep vellum, in the breezeway she tried to tell him. Look, it's your name, etched into the politics of my skin, and I just want to love you, baby. I just want to get used to you making love to me and us making up for not being close when we supposed to be. See, it's your name. He was called Cool C, Reggie D, Wayne Jr., a.k.a. Be Mine Forever, she said, to the image in motion dancing in her head. Like a movie reel supposed to be projecting versions of life, but here is death of herself instead. It's not healthy, the solitude of I got nothing in my bed. Won't you fill it with your body and let it feast on your energy instead? Let go of your daddy's memory and your mother's dread and abide with me. But this fellow, he was way too cool, see. Had too much to be and not enough to do. So he walked out the door and came back for more, and walked out the door and came back for more, and walked out the door and didn't come back. So she packed her feelings in a box and set them on the patio, closed her curtains and locked her door, until the phone rang and a morning voice sang, "Fool, you heard Cool C got shot?" And she bled in those moments between the coroner and the chaplain. Her cycle ran to her aid because her heart was breaking, bleeding words and memories and songs in the shower, and the tattoos they bruised in the night, widowed by morning's end, widowed like hip-hop rhymes when rappers die. They too had waited for fingers to caress their lines and claim them mine, and like her, all they got was a line etched into the politics of her skin, in that moment when Just a few words became a love gift for an old love.
Hey, that was great. So tell me, are you going to come into the studio and share and get that group, and maybe we can just connect with them at Berlin or wherever you travel?
I would love to.
And what are your thoughts about television and movies and shows and things of that nature?
Thank you for enjoying the corner.
I mean, I would love
enjoy
to
a
be able
beautiful poem
to,
by the
you
great
know, get together with the band
and host
Have a
your
nice
own
day.
show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there are a lot of things that need to be explored right now, and I would love to be, you know, a part of it. You know, see how we can get the band involved. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they would definitely be down for figuring that out, however we can make it happen. So I'm ready, you know, very, very interested. You know, I'll be back in the city in July, and yeah, maybe we can get some things together and, you know, see if we can beam them in from Berlin.
All right, I know we can. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you.
And we can't wait. You just give us a couple of dates, and we'll put that in so we can make that happen.
Absolutely,
I'm
ready. Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Ciao. I think that was excellent. Do we have to?